What's going on, guys? It's your boy Elisha here. Welcome back to God. This is a show where we discuss everything in the world of football from the past week, and by we I mean myself and of course you, the big worldwide lovely audience, the beautiful people of the world of football. This week we have actually not too much to talk about. There's a bit of a dry spell in the football world, but there's still some key news to talk about. Without further ado, let's get right into the business. First of all, if you're in New York City right now, stay strong, hang on, smoke a bong. No, don't smoke, guys. But it's super hot right now. I just cannot stop sweating. This weekend it's been like in the high 90s, feeling like the low 100s. It's man, and I feel the most for the people who have to work outside and anybody who has to play in this heat also. Let's get to the football business and the most important news of all. And I want to say a big congratulations to Algeria. They are now the kings of the motherland. They defeated Senegal 1-0. 1-0 in the African Cup of Nations 2019 final to take the crown and become African champions. And let's talk about that goal, a deflected shot from Bounedjah. Now, great run up, great leading up to the play, shot outside the box, gambled. It was not a huge gamble, but if you're looking at, go watch the replays. If you're looking at the run up, he did everything he had to do. Dribbled past a couple people, bing, 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 bing. At that point, either you pass it to somebody else and possibly break the play, or you take that shot from outside the box. Gambled, took the shot. From before, let's talk about that goalkeeper. Senegal's goalkeeper was definitely misplaced. He was way too high up off his line during that whole play, during that whole attack. And so when the ball deflected and it went up, he could have still ran for it. At that point, you can still run. He definitely thought the ball was going to go out of bounds. But when you're playing in the final, lack of experience. When you're playing in the final, you never can be too sure. You have to run back and make sure that ball, even if you're going to touch the top of the crossbar, make sure it really goes out. And he didn't make sure. And now that really cost Senegal the African Cup of Nations title. But all due respect to both teams, it was great game, solid. Ended 1-0. They both really gave each other a run for their money. Played hard, played tough. Two incredible teams, and I'm really looking forward to what these teams can do in the World Cup. Egypt, Algeria, Ghana, Nigeria, Senegal. Of course, I really want African teams to start in the World Cup really showing out, because they have the best talent is in the Americas, most notably South America. The most disciplined tacticians are in Europe, and the most athletic players are in Africa. So African players, man, start showing out, start really balling in the World Cup. But now let's come back right here into the US. Let's talk some domestic news, and really the only player that's been putting the MLS in the headlines of football for quite some time now, and most specifically this past week. Zlatan Ibrahimovic is back on the news, of course, being cocky as always, or confident as you want to call it, but you can't blame him. This guy has gone team after team after team in Europe in some of the most advanced competitions in the entire world, and has always shown out, has always been one of the best players in each league that he goes to. So he's allowed to be that cocky and show off from time to time. But this week, he has some words for Carlos Vela. A lot of people would argue that Carlos Vela is the best player in the MLS, but Ibrahimovic, of course, does not think so. And he was very vocal about the fact that, one, that Carlos Vela is 30 years old. Ibra is 37, 38 later this year. It's incredible that a striker is still playing at this, I'll say not at this level because he's not in Europe anymore, but the fact that he's still dominating in a young man's game is very impressive, especially in his position. And he's saying that when he was Carlos's age, he was in Europe at the top of his game still and just balling. So the fact that he's Vela is here in the MLS and the level of play, and he had some criticism also, which brings up a very good point. I make this point all the time, but it's always good to always bring them back up so we can keep that conversation going. His criticism of the MLS and the level of play of MLS and the fact that they're not paying players as much as in Europe, because people would love to be in America. People love to come here, whether it's Los Angeles, New York, Atlanta, Texas. People love to come to the U.S. Players all over the world would love to come play here, to live here. But you have to pay them the money. Bring more players from Europe, more players from South America, more players from Africa, all over the world. Yes, buy players, invest more in making sure that you can build all across every team. Don't focus on the profit of the team, but on how you can build a stronger foundation for the future and the present also. Buying all these players at the end of their careers is not doing anything. Like, it's bringing some media attention, but other than that, players are not saying, yo, I want to really play in the U.S. because it's going to elevate my game. They're like, yo, I'm going to go there when I'm in my late 30s and I'm about to end and I need some money. And the whole system of having playoffs, and Zlatan said it himself, you can finish 7th in a season, still make it to the playoffs, and then ending up winning the championship. Like, this is not basketball. Like, what are we doing here? Catch up to the rest of the world. Make it how it's supposed to be. Season-long fight. Whoever can be the most consistent team, get the most points across those 35-plus games, 38 games, is going to be the winner. That's it. You know, they changed the whole penalty format that they used to have that was super weird back in the days. Now, change the way the league is functioning, that system, throughout the whole entire season, because that will change the mentality. Introduce relegations. All of these things will change the mentality in the players and make the league so much more competitive. You can even keep the whole East and West thing. Keep that. But the whole playoffs, that's dead. That's dead. Come on, stop playing with me. And you know me, I'm all about elevating. I'm trying to do my very best in my power to elevate the MLS. You already know the vibes. You know what it is. So let's do this. Let's elevate it. But yeah, man, Zlatan talked the talk and walked the walk, because this weekend also, and the reason why he did that interview with ESPN FC was to talk about the upcoming game against LAFC. So LA Galaxy versus LAFC. Carlos Vela, of course, best player on that team. Zlatan, best player in LA Galaxy, and as he said, best player in the MLS. So they were gonna go head to head. So there was a lot of tension going on, and he absolutely demolished every argument for Carlos Vela. He scored a hat trick. Carlos Vela scored the first goal of the game. It was a penalty, and Zlatan came back with a hat trick, won it for his team, and cursed out everybody right at the end. He even called the coach of the other team a little bit. Sometimes I think he does a little too much, but because he's never stopped, no one ever says, yo, there's really gonna be repercussions for what you do, or you're like, you need to have some, like, there's never none of that. And because he backs up everything he says by playing really well, you just cannot go against him. It doesn't work as well for Cristiano, but it definitely works for Zlatan somehow. He's a football jewel. He's as iconic a footballer as it can get. He is that. But now in transfer news, we are talking De Ligt, who is finally a Juventus player. As I said last week, it was going to be announced. About $85 million for the transfer from Ajax. And yeah, man, star defender, very young player, strong leadership. This guy is like conducts himself like a grown man with a lot of life experience. Like, you could tell he's got some hair on his chest. I've never seen his chest. Probably have, I don't remember, but you can tell he's tough up here and in there. So good luck to him next to Rabiot, who's now in Juventus, and Ronaldo also. I can't wait to see what he can do and possibly elevate Juventus to a Champions League trophy, because this is really what they're looking for, not so much the Serie A. And also, it's some bitter bitter, 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 bitter. It's sour, it's bitter. It's not so sweet. It's sour, it's bitter. I'm on this beat. It's sour, it's bitter. It's not so sweet. Sour, bitter on that beat. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it. But in some bitter transfer news, man, Bale is having a hard time in Real Madrid, man. This stuff is not going away. Zlatan coming out with some statements that he's getting dragged for on Twitter. Like, he getting dragged. Like, people are sliding him through the Twitter halls, man, because he's saying that Bale needs to leave. He's gone. They don't need him, and they're going to find a team so he can go to, whatever, dismissing the thing, and basically throwing him out like a ragdoll, which is not cool. Like, Bale has done so much for Real Madrid, and once again, Los Blancos does not know how to treat their stars. Same thing with Casillas' farewell. Same thing with the way Ronaldo left. Like, there's just not a lot. And out of everybody, Ronaldo, bro, come on. Like, the way these players leave, you would think that they never even existed. Real Madrid, y'all really need to learn how to give your players the proper send-off, the proper farewells, because they put in so much work for that team, and then nothing when they leave. Ronaldo should have 3 statues at the Bernabeu. Like, come on, bro. Casillas, definitely. All these players, they're legends, icons of not just the game, but especially in Real Madrid, and they should be treated the same. Bale, incredible asset over the years for Real, and if he's leaving, it should be in a respectful manner. But yes, other than this excruciating heat and all that football news, International Champions Cup is the summer, so it's preseason. A lot of the star players are sitting out. Not that just the star players are the one that matters, but this is kind of a getting back into the motion of things thing before the actual season starts. For the International Champions Cup right here in the US, some of these teams are here for that, and also in Singapore, like Juventus. The whole Bayern team actually met with Arnold Schwarzenegger because it was their first time in LA, and he, I think, is like the governor or something. He's an elected official of some kind in LA, so he met with them. They had dinner, all of that. It's amazing. Kumbaya, yeah, because he's German. So, oh, and also it seems like we got a new star in football. We got a new musical star. Memphis Depay just dropped his first single, Fall Back. Fall Back. And you know, I listened to it. To be honest, like the video itself is very young footballer with a whole lot of money. Like, it's a lot of flexing. Like, you could tell this guy got some bread, and you know, with the red jet and the diamonds and the banging up and it's a lot. You could tell, you know, this young guy just living his best life. And you know, I don't expect a lot from it. I don't expect this is gonna be like some J. Cole, Kendrick, Drake type of stuff in terms of lyrics and in terms of like the quality of the song itself. Very well produced, you know, the auto-tune isn't too much. This is not no music critic channel, but it was a decent song, you know. It's a decent song. I'm gonna listen to it a lot more, you know, because right now it's not like, oh, this is my favorite song ever, but it's definitely like, it's solid. You guys give it a listen. The link's gonna be down in the description. But yeah, guys, pretty much it for this weekend football. Like I said a million times, it's hot in New York. It's very, very hot in New York. Get it together. But anyways, guys, yeah, that's pretty much it for this weekend football. Not much going on. Waiting on the season to start. Waiting on the Premier League, La Liga, the Serie A, the Ligue 1, Bundesliga, all of that stuff. The MLS is still going on, so make sure you pay attention to that. We're going to be talking about everything, whatever happens, even if it's one thing in football. Even if we got to go back to some other stuff, we're going to talk about the football news from the past week every weekend, every week, right here on Goal. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell, and also make sure you check out the social media and the music in the description. I'll see you guys next time on Goal. Peace.